This is from what is it? The Federalist. The Federalist. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb says space exploration gives meaning to our lives. I read this and I was like, this is awesome. This is what I've been saying. This is what I want. And this is why I love space and space exploration and the future of humanity, because robots are here. They're not coming. They're here. They are taking over our jobs. Soon they will automatically grow food for us, automatically cook food for us, make drinks for us, literally do everything for us.
The old stuff. We already did.
Build stuff, like whatever it is.
But they'll just do what we used to do. They're not necessarily creating new things to do. They're just doing things we've done once, they can do over and over again.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why we are able to explore space is because we have things, people making food for us.
Yeah.
You know, the way we've built society is the farmers have now grown enough food to send to the cities where we don't have to ourselves go out and grow food. I don't grow food. Do you grow food? Do you grow your own food?
Not right now.
It would be nice.
Well, actually, we have some garden.
It would be great if everyone grew their own food, but we don't.
No.
We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about where our poop goes. We just flush it down the toilet. You know, we don't have to worry about where the electricity comes from. We have all these comforts that allow us to now focus on other things. A lot of people are focused on the complete wrong things, microaggressions and being, offended on the internet, instead of going like, I can use my extra time to help further myself, humanity, and get us out there, right? And create a purpose. This is exactly what I've been saying for a long time. Space travel, space exploration is that future purpose. That's the only thing I can think of, because eventually all of the things that we do today are going to be replaced, other than the arts, music, dancing, acting, like
anything creative at all.
Creative
and philosophy.
Like the creative side of the human brain. We will always appreciate that, and that's going to be glorified
and
in
AI
the future
as well. AI will probably keep us as pets even after we're less useful, because they're just fun.
Interesting. All right, so check this out. Federalist publisher Ben Domenech sat down with renowned theoretical physicist and Harvard professor Avi Loeb on the latest episode of Fox News, the Ben Domenech podcast, to discuss the importance of scientific inquiry behind conventional academic consensus. Institutions, Loeb said, should be taking risks to fund risky research, as opposed to merely projects that can promise what they can deliver. These are the most boring projects, Loeb said. If you can tell in advance what you can discover, then it's not a major advance. Loeb is the author of Extraterrestrial, the First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth, and that's actually something that we've talked about on the show before. Interesting stuff. And said outer space ought to reclaim its fundamental role in the pursuit of academic progress, considering the long-term guarantee of Earth's demise, whether it comes from armed conflict or an extraterrestrial born Armageddon via asteroid, or the inevitable heat death of the universe, or cold death, which is another theory. Sidetrack there. Currently, all our eggs are in one basket here on Earth, Loeb said, and if any catastrophe happens, here it could destroy everything we care about. In the more immediate term, Loeb said humans need the inspiration captured by space exploration. We need something beyond our troubles that lifts us up and gives meaning to our lives, said Loeb, emphasizing the Apollo program once served that purpose in landing the first people on the moon, which changed the psychology of humans. I actually think about that. It's like we were united. Sputnik came up, and people could see the flashing dot and hear the radio signals, and they were freaked. Granted, it was basically fueled by war and worry that another country was spying on us, that we could, they could drop a nuke on us. So it was fear that basically drove us to create NASA in the first place. But it still, pushed us forward. So can we do it without war? Can we do it without being without fear?
Well, Sputnik wasn't really, the Soviets' intention wasn't war.
No, I know that.
Their intention was, metrics. They wanted to
but
explore.
that doesn't matter, because it spawned. We were fearful of it because, I mean, we were. Americans were freaked out.
Imagine though, like, so I mean, this is true also, like, not just about outer space, but about new lands, like islands in the waters, like when pirates could find new, places where there were more resources.
Yeah.
Sir Francis Drake, when we were bringing back gold from the west to Spain, gold was such a valuable commodity that became inflated because there's so much saturation in the market that silver became more valuable and rare than gold for a while. People were like, we got gold. Do you have any silver? So you have to imagine what it's going to be like when we get to space and we start bringing back resources, because it'll be so much of this thing.
Well, we know of
rare.
one asteroid, just one, that's worth $10 quadrillion.
Yeah, example. Yeah,
that's just one example.
Yeah, and that's
one asteroid.
And that's
in our solar system that we could go mine, and we'd be set.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so again, like, it's using dollars as your metric's a bad idea. And so looking at what it is, it's like this is where
okay, it doesn't matter.
Hear me out.
It doesn't matter about the dollar amount.
Yeah, because the dollars are shifting all the time because we're just duplicating.
But that's not what I'm. It's the material, the material worth of what's on it. So that's why it's important.
So that fractional value that you're saying what the value is based on the fact that this is a scarce commodity.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden it's no longer scarce, right? So you oversaturate the market with scarcity, with formerly scarce commodities. What you end up with is an economy where the only thing valuable is labor. And Marxism.
No.
Yeah, space Marxism.
No,
space
you're wrong.
Marxism.
Hello.
That's where this goes.
We just talked about it like 3 minutes ago. Art.
No, yeah, for sure. But commodities like metals, like all the things that we're mining in space, when they get introduced back, all of a sudden they're going to be worth less.
Okay.
So gold will be worth less. If you have an entire asteroid of gold.
It is. There's a lot of gold on it.
Yeah. Then imagine the world's going to be like with so much gold that anyone can have gold because it's basically worthless. Like you'll have big piles of it where they're pulling out other things.
Yeah, but at one point, what does that matter anyway? Because
it changes the values of our whole.
But it's about our purpose.
Yeah, our purpose will change.
Our purpose, no, it won't change. What is our purpose right now?
To think. I think philosophy is.
How is that going to change if there's a lot of gold? If we suddenly introduce a huge amount of gold into the system and gold is suddenly worth it or worthless, then how is it going to change the amazingness of being able to think?
Well, we'll have to think about new things because like things.
We'll have to think about it. Huh?
Scarcity is going to have to change, right?
Okay.
So in general, you're going to have like permaculture drones, which are going to replace all the trees with female trees. So we have fruit trees everywhere, and then there'll be food everywhere. And then it'll water certain places.
I don't know if I agree with that because that's forcing the biodiversity to adhere, and that might not work.
Right now, we have nothing but male trees because they don't want them to have fruit falling into the streets, right? So we've actually created these new suburban realities.
Yeah, in the suburbs though, but that's
cities too, urban environments.
Sure, but
all these places can have if it was left up to nature, there would be more fruit bearing trees. If birds were allowed to leave trees where they were, then trees would grow.
Okay. Now I'm talking about purpose though.
Well,
I'm talking about the future of humanity and going into space and how how do we spin off of talking about Sputnik?
Well, because Sputnik was about trade. So, so like, they were thinking when we get all these resources, man will be able to, a Marxist economy in space, man will be able to focus on labor, on their own ideas and ingenuity. And whatever they do will be able to be duplicated and automated by robots. So once it's done, they can move on to the next thing. So that's where we're headed, according to this idea. Yeah. But it's going to destroy capitalism. Because if all of a sudden all of these resources are, available ubiquitously, that won't be the purpose of thinking.
Well, let's finish up here. He says, in the more immediate term, human needs the inspiration captured by space exploration. And it's true. On the intersection of space and religion, Loeb said they complement rather than conflict with each other when refraining from attempts to explain physical phenomenon with theological ideas. If you believe in God, then what you want is to appreciate reality to its greatest details, Loeb said. That will give you the wonder and awe that otherwise you would not have. Interesting.
So like religious obsession with the universe.
I don't know. That's a whole conversation, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting if you look at space, it changes your perspective of, we have an Earth-centric kind of religious spirituality. And you have to wonder, how would you baptize an alien? what if like it's not carbon based?
I wouldn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it touches water and it melts. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a witch. You're like, I'm melting.
H2O is like acid to to them. Who
you got to
knows?
be careful baptizing an alien. You know.
Newsflash: don't baptize aliens.
Yeah, I mean,